Hey, AfterBuzzers and Siesta Key fans, we are talking about Season 2, Episode 3, Don't Come to My Trip. And Juliet, I feel you, girl. Kara, why'd you come? So much drama. Cannot wait to break it down. Also, Madison and Ben are official, and we cannot wait to break it down right after this.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
So happy, and I'm sure you're sick of me saying that every time we enter the show, but it makes me happy, and I can't help it.
Spirits. It really does.
Welcome back, guys. Another Tuesday, another fun night talking about Siesta Key and all of the drama. And I can't even keep up anymore, and I can't keep up with all the lies, but I guess we're going to have to because we're breaking it down for you. But hello and welcome. To my left, I've got the beautiful DJ Bourlou. Did I say it good that time?
Sounds pretty good.
I'm getting better.
Yes,
What's going on, girl?
Oh my gosh, I'm good, but like, oh my goodness, I'm just so confused. I just don't know who to trust. I don't know who to root for. Kara, I was rooting for you, but now I just don't know anymore.
Sketchy, sketchy, sketchy. Katie Wolski, how's it going? Loving the blazer.
Thank you. Business professional. Only the best for my Siesta Key fans.
I love it. Hey guys, Ali Nasta here. And I just am so confused as to how these people just lie and just like, they want the drama. It's hard for me too to break it down to, okay, what is production and what is just real? You know, what is being thrown at them and being told to do versus what is their choices? But let's just jump right in. Why don't we? Okay, I would like to jump off with saying, this is the first time I have seen Alex and Juliet show any type of emotion and like romantic chemistry towards each other without drama. And I think I saw that this episode, which is kind of funny because I feel like we just kind of ignored the fact that they got in a fight last episode.
Or maybe even just like commitment at all, because I feel like they're just always like at places, but they're never like really,
boyfriend,
I don't know,
girlfriend.
like hanging out, like
Right.
doing like, I don't know, being like cuddly. I feel like even on this trip, they weren't that cuddly. Like, they kind of, they were by each other, but, like, they weren't like, oh, hey, or, like, you know, snuggle up and let's hold hands while we're sitting here.
But right before they went on the trip and they showed that kind of Alex was really there for her and they kissed a little bit. And I would like to say also that this was the first time I think I've seen Alex actually stick up for Juliet. He did it multiple times.
Yes, which I was very proud.
I have to say this episode for sure, and it's so weird for me saying this because I'm usually saying negative things about them, but for Alex and Juliet, I really did have a lot of respect for them in this episode. I felt like they did actually kind of acted like a couple.
Yeah.
Like you said, Alex stood up for her, and I was like, okay, all right, good job, Alex. And Juliet was actually making some sense in this episode, too.
She made so much sense. And, you know, they were fine. Like, Alex was showing more affection than usual. And I think maybe that's just his personality. He's just not really good at showing that. But I was a little I was a little taken aback at first because I thought we were just going to ignore them fighting. And then they kind of mentioned it a little bit before they go to Miami. And they were like, can we just not fight when we're drinking anymore? It's really frustrating. But I also realized that I think that they were so drunk, they didn't really realize what happens. And I don't think they ever really remember what happens until they watch the episode like we are.
I don't think they do either.
Yeah, I was still trying to figure out exactly how did that fight start?
They just forgive and forget. Like, she was like, don't worry, we'll get in little tiffs all the time. Like, that's what you want to hear.
Yeah. I mean, I think that they obviously do a little bit more because they're younger and they were drunk and everything. But I think that Juliet 100% is valid and feeling the way she's feeling about the whole Kara situation. But right before we get into that, I would like to send a huge thank you to all of our AfterBuzzers here. We appreciate you guys, and we thank you guys for making us the ESPN of TV Talk.
Yes, thank you, AfterBuzzers. Before we move on to our next topic, we just wanted to say thank you again for making us the ESPN of TV Talk. For us to continue to grow, we could use your help. If you're on YouTube right now, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. If you're on iTunes, please give us a 5-star rating. But no matter where you are, leave us a comment so you can get involved in the conversation. Being a part of AfterBuzz TV has meant so much to all of us, and we truly appreciate you supporting us in doing what we love. Don't forget to tell your friends and keep enjoying our shows.
Yes, thank you guys so much for listening, watching on YouTube, however you are listening to us. We appreciate you so much. Okay, so this whole Alex and Juliet situation, they are not bothering me this episode. Not really that much drama with them internally, and I think that Alex is really sticking up for her. But Kara is the driving force behind their issues. Let's rewind a little bit, because now Kara and Garrett are together, whatever they may be. They're on their second date. Before we look at what happens in Miami, do you think that the second date seems genuine and Kara actually likes Garrett?
The date at the beach?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that date seemed genuine. I think that they had a little bit of chemistry, and I think that she's hot, so he's obviously probably vibing her. I think the bigger question is, does she really like him?
And the only reason I kind of thought this on the second date was that this was the most conversation I've ever heard a couple on Siesta Key talk. And about like real life things. I don't know why. When Garrett and Kelsey were dating, I felt like they didn't really go deep. There was no surface level to that conversation, especially when the cameras were on them. It almost made me think, how did you guys ever have a relationship before the show? And then when Garrett and Juliet were on the camera, they didn't really have much in common to talk about either, besides they would kiss every once in a while and then it'd be dull. So I was thinking, oh, this is a genuine connection, but I'm starting to think that there are other things under Kara's behind what she's thinking.
Yes.
Absolutely. And it's funny because like what I liked about that second date too, like you said, they seem both genuine and real, and they both it seems like they feel secure in themselves. You know, they are comfortable, like they were so, owning up to who they are. Garrett's like, I had to work hard for what I do, my success and all that. And she's opening about her goals. She wants to be a teacher, all that stuff. And I'm like, I like this. This is a real conversation. But now I don't know, after what we saw in this episode, I don't know if it's actually genuine from Kara's side,
I agree, and I think it's going to be really interesting how this plays out, and we'll dive more into our thoughts on that in a second. But before we do, I also want to ask you guys, because she mentioned so many times, ew, I don't like Alex. That doesn't interest me. I don't want that in my life. I don't need that. Do you think at the end of the day, she would be happy with a Garrett who's kind of just, working hard? You know what I mean? That's a different lifestyle that she's not used to. And she mentioned that multiple times. I'm used to that lifestyle.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I think that, yes, like what she was saying is how she's not impressed by Alex's money. I totally agree. And I think that's probably why, like, she doesn't feel, like, jealous, or I guess like the sort of like way Juliet is feeling like towards Alex, and
because it's all new and it's
right,
sparkly,
yeah. So
and
she's
fun.
like, I know, like basically she's like, all the bull aside, like I see Alex for who he is, like not the money.
But do you think now, kind of knowing what we know, do you think that she's genuine in her feelings of what she's explaining to Garrett
about like
not liking Alex?
I don't know. I mean, I think I believe in like her statement on how she doesn't like him for his things, but I don't know. Like, after that trip to Miami,
Gigi, I see you got some thoughts going on in there. What's going on?
Oh, Kara, I just don't know. Kara, you're so confusing. It's frustrating. But I think that she is being real in what she's saying, where she was saying how Alex's money and all that doesn't impress her, because I really don't think it impresses her. And she does see him for who he is, all the BS and everything. But I just think she has too much fun playing mind games with him. I think she gets off on that. So that's why she's struggling.
I think you're 100% correct. And I think she likes playing mind games with Juliet as well. 100%. Even if Garrett were to say, you're invited, don't worry about it, you should come, there's no reason you should show up. Are you sure? No, you know how it's going to make people feel. Chloe, who is your quote-unquote, I'm using air quotes if you're listening, your friend, your best friend, is telling you don't come to this. Why are you going to come? Why?
To stir the pot.
Exactly. So she's coming to stir the pot, but then it also makes me question, Garrett, why are you stirring the pot? What do you get from this? Why can't you just wait a week until you go back to Sarasota?
He's just being selfish, and I think that he just wants Kara there because he's drunk and alone in Miami with all his friend group. And now I think that he realized that, like, ooh, she might have, like, a thing for me. So, like, why not bring her out here and, like, have fun in Miami with her?
Garrett is super naive. I'm sorry, Garrett. I love you, but you are super naive. And it's such an, like Juliet said, we're going to get into that later, I'm sure. He's such an easy target. And it now it kind of makes sense. And that's why I don't really trust Kara so much, because I feel like Kara's doing what Juliet did to him and what Kelsey did to him, using him.
She's using him, definitely. And I think that it was really proven to us this episode, because I think she really is liking the way Juliet is giving her so much reaction, and that's what she's loving from it. She's loving the attention from the reaction that Juliet gives her. And she just sits back and, like Amanda said, she's just laughing. She is just really eating
like,
it all
calm and
up.
collected, smiling.
Slightly condescending. I peep that.
Right. We can all see,
Yeah.
and I feel like now we're seeing right through her games.
Yes.
And this is just a game for her. This is fun. She doesn't care about Juliet, nor does she care about any of the other people in the group. So for her, she's like, why not stir the pot a little bit? It's fun, and I can do it because I know that I can get what she thinks is she can get Alex in a heartbeat. But
Right.
I'm starting to feel like maybe she can't. Maybe Alex is realizing and has realized her games, because from what we know, apparently it was like an off and on 2-year thing that they had going.
Right.
But who knows with that? But I was just really confused by Garrett and why he would do that. And it made me think, obviously, you know, what is production telling them? Obviously, this is kind of a random group to put together because they don't all hang out all the time. This is clearly for the
Right.
show. So I'm wondering, you know, maybe Juliet was told this will be for your birthday, but like, what was production doing in order to get Kara there, in order to tell her to get her there? Like, maybe did she just leave a couple hours after that? Like, it's a 4-hour car ride.
Maybe
so,
she just wanted some TV time. Like,
Oh, yeah. She definitely wants that screen time for sure.
yeah. I'm just wondering why. I mean, that's uncomfortable. Why would you even show up? It's Juliet's birthday. I just think that's rude.
yeah, I think it was definitely not the right thing to do, especially if she's trying to get in the good graces of everyone in the group.
Well, it'd be different too if you're gonna come to this and be like, I'm sorry, Juliet. I know you feel uncomfortable around me. I just want to make amends, whatever that may be. Obviously, Alex has been with me. He's been with multiple other girls. Can we just go forward and move forward? But she's not taking that route, which goes to show there are definitely vindictive sides of her that she's doing this on purpose.
Of
Yeah.
course.
So I guess that's just going to come out in the wash eventually. But, and also, too, it's funny because I felt as if when she's sitting there, the whole time she's looking like she's not having fun. So if you know you're not going to have fun and you're going to be around people that aren't going to really embrace you as you haven't been embraced in 5 other events now, why would you go?
You know, it's really weird. And that's why I question her if she's being actually genuine to Garrett. If she was here for Garrett, because clearly Garrett invited her, and I was thinking, okay, this would be a good opportunity for them to spend time with each other, get to know each other a little bit more. So if I was Kara, I would just be completely focused on Garrett and just be like, all right, let's just ignore everybody and then just do our own thing. Go off on the corner somewhere, make out, I don't know. But it's just, she sat there and was just quiet. And she was right next to Garrett too. So it was so uncomfortable watching. I'm like, aren't you guys going to talk? Get touchy-feely, whatever, nothing.
And she gets called out for saying, we're fine, we're friends, in a rude. She was being rude.
She was.
She was, yeah.
She was just like, we're fine, we're friends.
And we're friends.
We're friends.
Come on.
You're
You're
not
dating.
friends.
You,
Or at least, like, they like each other.
yeah. You
Like-
and you don't even need to say that much. Maybe just
We're feeling each other.
yeah, we're feeling each other. We're seeing where this takes it. But
Yeah.
like she is now on the defense. But you came into an awkward situation. So you can't come into an awkward situation and be on the defense. You've got to be open and
Yeah.
ready for any arrows that are going to be thrown your way because that's just the way it is. You know what you're walking into.
Exactly. And that's why I question her intentions, because I'm saying if I was her, I would have expected her to be like, I'm here for Garrett. Garrett invited me and, we're dating. We're getting to know each other. Boom. But
Yeah.
she didn't do that. So now I'm just like, Kara, what you doing?
And-
That's what I want to
and
know.
Doing.
Not even did she just not do that. She proceeds to apparently hook up with Garrett and then the next night go up to Alex and say she misses him.
Oh,
Yeah.
These
Girl.
are pure mind games.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you think she actually misses him, or you think this is a mind game?
I mean, she might miss him a little just because, I mean, obviously, I don't think they've talked maybe recently, like, obviously, like, he's been with Juliet for a little bit. So, maybe it's been a while for them, like, since they've maybe hung out or talked or did their thing. So maybe she's thinking that, like, oh, it's just like old times, and maybe I just have to work a little harder to get you.
No, I think she 100% does not miss him. She misses the
Really?
attention that he brings along.
Yes.
And she wishes she was Juliet because Juliet is the one getting surrounded for her birthday. All of these people are there
center
for
of
her.
attention.
She's not that center of attention. And I think she misses that maybe. And she just misses the like game that Alex used to play. And I think that because she's always cheated with Alex when he's had a girlfriend, this is just like another check for her. She's like, oh, okay, let's try it this time. I think she's trying, and I think Juliet has a valid reason as to why she's feeling this way. We as women know when there's a girl that likes your man. You know.
You know.
You get she gives you like a weird hug when everybody else is so excited for you to be there, or she leaves as soon as you show up. There's things like that that happen and that make you feel that way. And so I think Juliet is valued in feeling uncomfortable and doesn't want her to be there. And I don't think she needs to have an exact reason for her not to be there. Like, she keeps saying, tell me why you feel uncomfortable. You don't have to. If you don't have to be surrounded by your
I mean,
boyfriend's
she
ex.
just is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, by her presence. She's said it multiple times. No one takes it seriously. But, I mean, if I was in Juliet's shoes and the girl who always ends up cheating on someone with Alex, like, is her and she shows up and, like, you're finally in a good place with, like, him, I would definitely be freaking out.
Absolutely.
Especially now the signs that we're seeing from Kara.
Well, and especially because this isn't just like Juliet is seeing Kara and like all the time, and like you should never even have to see an ex. First of all, and the fact that she knows that she's playing these mind games, like Juliet's like, I've seen it happen before. So it's just really aggravating, and I think that it's really frustrating that Kara keeps asking Juliet for a specific reason as to why she shouldn't be there. But she doesn't need to give a specific reason. You're the ex. That's the reason. And that's what Juliet was saying, but she was just like, I don't understand. Like,
Plus, she knows no one else in the group besides Alex and Chloe. So it's not even like, okay, like, these are, like, friends of yours. You know them. Like, these are random people. Like, only two of these people you really know. One of them you should just sort of stop talking to.
Exactly. And she made out with Alex, too, when they were together at his last birthday party. So Juliet has every right to feel uncomfortable. And I have to apologize because I was totally thinking Juliet was overreacting, but now it just all makes sense in this episode.
Yeah.
Juliet, you got a point, girl.
yeah, she does. Yes. Team Juliet all the way.
But I also do feel like Juliet should feel secure and she shouldn't let like Kara's games like get to her like how she is. Like she needs to sort of be the bigger person and trust her relationship and trust in Alex.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I think that sucks too because it's unfair that she has to constantly be surrounded by her. But at the same time, yeah, I think you're right, and she needs to maybe just let it go a little because clearly this girl isn't going anywhere, and she's enjoying the reactions you're giving out of her. Again, like she's getting out of you.
Stop
Yeah.
reacting.
Right.
That's so true.
And that's what sucks though, is because when you're in a situation like that, it's really hard to not react.
Right. Yeah.
And you can't.
Easier said than done.
Right, and especially when you're drinking, obviously the emotions get more heightened, and she just shows up, and I don't know. I just think that if Kara wasn't being vindictive like they were mentioning, then she would be totally understanding of Juliet's feeling. Like, I get you, girl. I know it's uncomfortable, but clearly I'm trying to be in this group now. I'm being welcomed in by some of your friends that are here. I want to be a part of it. And I will, like, over time, my trust will be proven to you. But for now, like, you know, she's just not communicating that.
Yeah.
And so the fact that she's not communicating that she's not there for any ill intentions other than just, I'm sorry you feel that way, then you're not
Get
gonna-
over it.
Yeah, then you're not going to
Seriously.
be on Juliet's good side. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
I agree.
Man, I don't know. Definitely a lot to chew on there. And I will just have to see where Kara is going with this. And we'll see where her true colors lie.
Oh my god.
Even
I can't
Chloe's
wait,
questioning
though.
it now.
I know. Well,
You don't think so?
Chloe brought her into the group
I don't
in the
know.
first place, so that's why
Yeah,
it's
like,
a little
but
weird.
I think Chloe is now realizing, like, oh, okay, because Chloe admitted to bringing her around to piss Juliet off. So the fact that she's even, I think this episode she was a little bit like, okay, why would you show up? Like, I've told you multiple times, and like, you don't even know if you like Garrett yet. So why are you coming? She knows what she's doing.
It's kind of like the prank that gone too far. I guess maybe
Yes.
Chloe didn't expect Kara to keep coming back around.
Right? Oh my gosh, that's 100% true.
Oh, maybe
I
she
know.
unleashed a monster.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Someone else that unleashed
Unleashed.
a monster. I can't speak right now. Is this whole Kelsey and Jared situation?
Oh my god.
Let's break this one down. Okay.
She bothers me.
I need a drink.
So I know. So
I can't.
somehow the group has pictures of them on the beach and has like timestamps from them being on this beach, whatever. Snapchats, there's Instagram stories, clearly.
Those stories don't lie.
She straight up lied about it to Madison. That's your best friend.
Okay, but hasn't Kelsey lied in the past? Like, I don't know. I feel like
Typical
it's like
Kelsey.
Wait a
not-
second. Oh my gosh. I keep forgetting of Alex. Okay, so that was like, well, she hooked up with Alex in the second episode of the first season. So I feel like I always forget about that
Yeah.
because they did brush it under the
She
rug.
denied it until she couldn't deny it anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just don't think she's trustworthy at all.
Nope.
And clearly, we've seen from the past that she doesn't ever care about her boyfriend's feelings. She just kind of goes with what she's feeling and how she's feeling in the moment and who maybe she's being attracted to.
Kelsey's trouble. She can't be in a relationship. She really can't. Like a serious one.
Well, and Jared's saying that she doesn't act like she has a boyfriend. And he was just like, it seemed mutual, which from what we're seeing, I always use this disclaimer. We're only judging based off what we're seeing in the show. We're not personally like saying these things on these personal their characteristics at all. But it's just, what we're seeing is they were having fun at that rodeo or whatever you want to call it.
Dirty dancing.
Dirty. They were dancing. They were having fun. So it just is hard for me to see Kelsey be so rude to Jared because it's like she's defensive now that Jacob's coming into town and she doesn't want anybody to find out. But I think if it was more like I made a mistake and I need to, or I don't know, we don't really know what exactly went down, but it seemed to me like she liked him.
And
Yeah.
when they were having that conversation, Jared clearly asked her, are there any real feelings
Yeah.
that you have towards me? And we can all see it. We saw them at the rodeo. We saw them at the beach. There's chemistry there, but she's trying to deny it. And she's saying, oh, we'll never be together. So get that out of your head.
But
She
do
was
you
just
think
being
maybe
so
it's just
rude.
like drunken emotions because like you miss your boyfriend and then you're
Yeah.
drunk and then you're like, oh, like I think she genuinely feels bad for what happened and she's more scared of losing Jacob than acknowledging that this was a thing.
I think so, but she did tell Madison that she has chemistry with Jared. So like that wasn't a lie.
Yeah.
Like I think like she did I think she did feel like something with him, and obviously that's probably why she went to the beach with him and was having so much fun. But maybe that reality set back in of like, oh crap, like what did I do?
Right.
Like, but again, I feel like she's not doing this out of like a genuine like regret. Like she's just like, be quiet, like my boyfriend's coming in town. Like we can't talk about this.
But
I think her bitchiness comes out when she knows she's wrong. She's in the wrong, so she's all defensive, and now she's just
Yeah.
like, you saw nothing happened. Get it out of your head. Don't mention this.
And I think also she's trying to protect Jacob from being hurt. Because I think she wants to, if anybody's going to tell Jacob, it's going to be her. So I think that's where she's kind of getting super defensive too. 'Cause she's like, I'm going to deal with this. I'm going to figure it out. She's going to tell Jacob eventually, which clearly, this is a TV show. He's going to find out eventually. So
Yeah.
it'll just be really interesting how it gets told.
Right.
And I have a feeling it's definitely going to happen when he's in town for this trip, which we'll kind of jump into next episode. I think she's going to tell him.
She has to.
Yeah.
Because if she doesn't, she knows someone else is. And I think that's why she's like, let's keep this on the down low for now. And I think that's why she lied to Madison, because she wants to be the one to tell him. Mm-hmm. But those are my thoughts.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure,
man.
I guess so,
So
Kelsey.
many relationship issues in the key. And that leads us to Ben and Madison, who have been doing what they call casual for the past 5 to 6 years. I say that with a question mark
That's
because
insane.
that's crazy. I mean, and I get it because they've had boyfriends and girlfriends in between then. But my question is, Ben, why do we need to spell it out for you that you need to ask her to be your your girlfriend.
She had to make you get a separate room for like him to realize.
Make a decision. She basically
Seriously.
it was kind of, to me, what looked like an ultimatum. Like,
Yeah, oh,
you're
no,
either
for
going
sure.
to be my boyfriend, or like after this trip, we're nothing. I think that was her way of saying that without saying it. And I think that was kind of smart of her to be like, listen, without like saying the actual words, she's like, you can get your own room and then you can tell me what you want to do.
And I respect the hell out of that. Like, I had so much respect for her when she did that. And it led to that conversation that they had on the beach. They finally had that real conversation. And she was straight up, we're not together, so you're not making it official. So that's why we have these separate rooms. And she got what she wanted because he obviously asked.
He caved.
He
caved.
Question for you guys. Let's not forget about last episode, and he's had girls that have come up to him in the past. Do you believe that he actually wants to be her boyfriend, or he's just saying that for like to be on TV? Or, you know, I just don't know if I really get his genuineness yet, considering last episode that girl asked if they were together and he straight up said no.
You know, it could be the Miami Heat, but I think that, you know, I think he really does have genuine feelings for her. I mean, you don't keep something going for 5 to 6 years if you don't care about that person. So I definitely think that there's some strong feelings between the two, but I'm feeling that she's liking him way more than he likes her.
Yeah.
And so that might be an issue, yeah. And I don't know if they're gonna make it.
Yeah.
I don't know either. Because even when he said, would you be my girlfriend? I rolled my eyes at that. I'm like, really? Now you're going to? Okay, sure.
Yeah, she
But
just kind
I
of
think
badgered you into it.
Exactly. But now that he's asked and it seemed like they made it official, I think she needs to still be a little bit careful and a little bit guarded, and just to see how he moves going forward. Because if you guys remembered when she was dating Brandon and he dropped the L word, I love you, and then he went behind her back, cheated on her, you know, clearly. She's just got to
Yeah.
be careful because, you know, guys can just drop these words, but you got to tell by their actions.
I agree 100%.
And Ben lives in Texas.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that
it
long
would be
distance.
long distance for them,
Ooh.
which is a hard thing to do.
Especially if he's not telling people he's got a girlfriend or telling people he's even talking to somebody.
Right. You
The
don't-
lies, man.
She better keep an eye on his Instagram stories. That's what-
Sure to even out on his friends'
Right.
Instagram stories.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly.
man. This is all so crazy. I mean, I think that like part of it is what we're seeing. Like, you know, it's produced. Obviously, we understand that. So these are just characters on a show we're seeing. We don't know if these are actually what, you know, we don't know what's real and what's not. So that's something that I always remind myself, because I'm like, what is going on? But they gotta catch the juiciest moments, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Last but not least, we've got Candace and Tawny explaining what they both want in a relationship. This was it was interesting because we got to peel back some layers on Candace. We know that she's been through a lot throughout her childhood, but I feel like we've seen a little bit more from her. But do you guys think that this is going to be just kind of like a fun, you know, night, or do you think it's actually going to turn into something?
I don't think it's going to turn into something. I mean, I think maybe it's definitely going to be something temporary, but I feel like Candace, like she said, she likes having options. So I don't think she could just stick to one person. And I feel the same with Tawny.
Yeah,
I
they
feel
both
she's the
seem
same
like
way.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see their connection. I think maybe they're like attracted to each other. And obviously since they're BFFs, you know, like maybe they got a little bit of good chemistry, but yeah, I don't know if I would see a relationship. I think that's pushing it a little bit for them. Yeah. But I mean, I love when Candace opens up about her past and about her family. I think she's so interesting and so mysterious.
Definitely.
So I'm always like I can't wait. Sorry, but I can't wait for her mom to come next episode.
I'm like, Mama's coming to town.
That'll be so interesting. I am very intrigued to see what goes on there. But, you know, we actually are lucky enough to have some Instagram. So I think we should get into some Insta stalking, because it clears up some answers, some questions that we've had answers to, or answers that we've had questions to.
There it is.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Okay, so we know that Kelsey and her boyfriend Jacob, not to be confused with Jared, Jacob and her are still together. They seem to be in love. You know, I think that everybody goes through trials and tribulations, and unfortunately, this was on television, and that doesn't define who anybody is as a person. It doesn't define anything. If she made a slip up or whatever actually went down, maybe we didn't see that she pushed away and ran away. And I think that's kind of unfair that we didn't see that play out, because we need to know her side of the story as well.
Right.
And we don't know, she probably felt really guilty afterwards. And I don't think you should have to share that if you're not even sure what or why you were feeling those types of feelings when you love someone so much. So they're still together. I'm really intrigued to see how this plays out on the show next week.
I mean, I think, I'm all for I hate cheaters, but I'm all for if you can forgive the person and really, obviously you have to really forgive them and have that trust between you two to stay together afterwards. And clearly they have that. So, maybe what they have is actually really real, and that's exciting.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that it is, because Kelsey's got to stop with these horrible habits. I'm sorry.
I think it definitely is real because of the way that she's posting about him on Instagram. I think she feels like she has to prove to everybody that she loves him, which kind of sucks. That's not fair to have to constantly feel like you need to prove something to other people.
Well, with what happened on the
right.
show.
From what we've seen, I can understand.
I think maybe a little validation in that department there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Giving the timing.
Yeah.
I think.
Which makes sense. You're right. But yeah, I'm really excited to see Jacob be, well-versed in the Siesta Key fam, see how it all plays out. And there's clearly going to be some drama with Chloe.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah. I
this,
want to know also what Jacob's personality is like.
right?
I want to
Definitely.
know what he's
What does
like.
he sound
I
like?
know. I'm so interested.
I
Can't
am
wait.
very, very interested. Let's also show that Canvas and Tawny probably aren't together because Canvas posted an Insta story kissing a girl, and it might be a new girlfriend. We're not exactly sure. So I guess it'll be really interesting. Apparently her name's Alice, and she's a model from Atlanta. So
She kind of
Maybe
looks like Tawny.
Candace.
maybe Canvas isn't settling down
Ooh, she
just
does.
yet.
I think
but-
Canvas has a type, because she definitely looks like Tawny.
Yeah, I don't know,
She's
man.
beautiful.
Yeah.
We'll just have to
Canvas.
wait and see. Yeah. Last but not least, Madison was on the Help I Suck at Dating podcast with
Oh my
Dean
God.
and Vanessa from
I
The Bachelor.
Love Dean.
Yes.
What a cutie.
I need to listen to this episode of the podcast, so maybe it'll give us some insight into the whole Ben
Ooh,
and
you're
Madison
right.
relationship. I doubt she can tell us if they're still together or not, but it'll definitely give us some help onto where they were and some more deep dive into their relationship. So if you guys want to check that out, you guys can go to iTunes podcast and find Help I Suck at Dating. So that's great. Alrighty, before we close it out here, let's get into some predictions for next week's episode.
Oh, yeah.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
DJ, you gonna kick us off?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so many predictions running through my mind, but a couple that sticks out the most. I feel like it's going to be very emotional with Canvas, her mom, coming through. So I'm definitely interested in seeing that. I'm going to bring some tissues because I might cry as well.
Same.
And it might get a little awkward, Jacob coming into the group, knowing all the scandals that are going on, and she's trying to keep hush about it, but we'll see.
I think Kara and Garrett are gonna fizzle out. I don't really, I don't know. I guess I just don't see that real chemistry between the two. Yeah, maybe they're a little attracted, but I don't know. I think they're just gonna say goodbye to each other.
Jumping off that, I think so too. I think that Kara she's gonna show more of her true colors next episode, and she's really gonna start going after Alex. And then Juliet's gonna finally be like, "Do you guys see what I've seen this whole time?" And I believe that we will see Kelsey and Jacob discuss the whole Jared situation next episode. I don't think we're gonna drag it out any longer because the cat's gonna be out of the bag as soon as Chloe starts fighting with her. So that will be
yeah.
interesting.
Chloe will drop those bombs.
Oh, yeah.
Not afraid.
One prediction I do have kind of as an overarching theme is obviously we do see Alex and Juliet post on Instagram all the time. But what I will say is I think this whole Alex and Kara situation is really going to bring Juliet and Alex stronger because as we've seen, it's not like he's been that supportive in the last episode, but he's been some more supportive this episode than he has thus far in the entire series. So I'm hoping that it'll only push him to continue to be like, whoa, she really is kind of out to get Juliet in a sense. So I'm hoping that'll bring them stronger and bring them more together. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. I cannot wait until next week. There's always so much drama. But until then, GJ, where can they find you on social media?
Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys can check me out on Instagram at DJ_Beaulieu.
I love that. Hey guys, Katie Wolski here. You can check me out on Instagram and Twitter at KatieWolski_.
And hey guys, Ali Nasta here. Find me on Instagram at LAGirl. And of course, follow AfterBuzz TV on all social media platforms. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Great show, you guys.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.